So in part A we need to complete the square. So to do this I firstly write out my expression. Then I'm going to open up a bracket and do x, and then I'm going to half b. So b is this. B is what's written in blue, so our b is -6. So half of -6 is -3. Close that bracket, squared. Then the next step is to take this b value that you've put in here, square it, or rather square this, and then subtract whatever that value is. So I know that 3 squared is -9. And then we need to not forget about this -81 in the end. -81. So, tidying that up, we get x minus 3 squared minus 90. And that's you. Give yourself a tick. Thanks for watching. Okay, so in part 2 we're being asked to state the axis of symmetry. So if we draw a little, let's just draw a quadratic out. Then our axis of symmetry is the x value of our turning point. So it's the x value of this. So how do you find that? Well, we know that this bracket, so our x minus 3, oh, we don't need the bracket actually. X minus 3 is equal, if we set it equal to 0, then we could do x is equal to 3. And that's how you find this, and then that's our axis of symmetry there. So just clarify, it's just like the axis of symmetry is the x coordinate of the turning point. So that's how you find that. Thanks for watching, everyone. So in part B, we're asked to find the roots of the equation. So if this, you should know to use the quadratic formula, because this should remind you of the quadratic formula, because it looks very similar to it. So we need to find the values of d and e. So we start off with our quadratic formula here, then we substitute our values in, which I've done all nicely colour coded, and then we work it out. So, and let me just clarify, this is a positive 6 here because we're doing negative b, and a negative times a negative, because we have a -6, is a positive. So that's why it's positive 6. So, moving on, 6 plus or minus, now let's work out the discriminant. Well, so we have, I'm just going to do -6 squared is 36 minus 4, well, let's do -81 times 1 is -81. So -81 times -4 is going to be positive, so we're positiving. And let me think, so 4 times 80 is 320, and then 4 times 1 is 4. So that'd be 324, which gives me 360. So what we need to do is, now that we're at this stage, we need to work out, so our discriminant is 360, so we're going to write that in, root 360 over 2. However, this is not in the form d plus or minus d root e, so we're going to have to see what we can do with this 360, and it can be simplified. So I'm immediately thinking, well, 4 times 9 is 36, which means that 40 times 9 is 360. That's nice, because I can put that 9 down to a 3, and then I can also simplify root 40 further, because it can be divided by 2. So that'd be 3 times, 3 root 2 times root 10, root 4. So 3 times 2 times root 10 is equal to 6 root 10. This is looking promising. So 6 plus or minus 6 root 10 over 2. Now, this is very similar to our answer, because our answer, our d here and our d here are the same. So we have this, and then our e is different. But we have this 2 in the bottom, and our answer doesn't have a 2 in the bottom. But what we can do to get rid of that is, so we can't divide the third, but we can divide these numbers here, and 2 goes into 6 3 times. So then we do 3 plus or minus 3 root 10, and then we get rid of our denominator, and that's in the form our answer wanted it. So they asked for x d plus or minus d root e. We've given that, we just need to state the values of d and e. So d, use pink, So D is equal to what? Well, D is equal to 3, and E is equal to what? E is equal to 10.